everybody. How's everybody doing today? How's my trip? Oh, I already did my trip. It was okay. It was actually really bad. My trip was awful. My trip was the worst. Give me 1 second. The unspoken hero of Laguna.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
See, I've never done a live, so I'm like, whoa.
So welcome to the live fam.
Thank you. How cool. It's crazy to I'm talking to you, but there's other people. It's like, I was all nervous before.
No, don't be nervous. Most people are nice. Don't be nervous.
Oh, it's all good. I did it myself, so. Wow. Crazy. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So I have a question to start us off before we get into Laguna, what you're up to now.
Sure.
Did you go by Alex because there were too many Laurens in Laguna?
I know, it's like the burning question. No, so my real name is Lauren Alexandria Hoosier. And when I moved to Laguna, when my family did back in, I think I was like going to third or fourth grade, I always loved my middle name, which was Lauren Alexandria. So when I registered for school, I asked my parents if I could go by my middle name, and they were like, sure, whatever, you can do what you want. So I put my name Alexandria Lauren Hoosier, and then, started that way. And then ever since then, it was Alexandria, but then Alex for short. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my name really, truly is Lauren, my first name.
Okay. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
because I know there's a lot of Laurens in Laguna, or so it seems.
Oh, I always got that too. They're like, did you change it because of LC or because for any kind of reason? Like, no, it's just been my name. And my family has always called me by Lauren. So that's why now I'm in Hawaii. I'm sure you guys all know. But when I moved here, I have family that has lived out here. So they all just called me Lauren. So I felt like it was more natural to just stick with that than correct my family and be like, oh, can you guys call me Alex or Alex
Yeah.
H?
Okay. No, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So
what brought you to Hawaii?
my mom had lived out here I've been here for about 10 years myself. And then before that, my mom lived out here for 10 years. So, I kind of started to come out and visit her, and it became a second home. And then eventually my life in California was kind of slowing down, and I was in between, what to do and where to go type of thing. So especially after the whole Laguna days, you kind of, our lives just took off, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, the show's not on and things aren't happening. And I decided to come to Hawaii and see what that was like. And then I thought it was just going to be like a year or 6 months of my time, but then I came and I got a job and met friends, and then eventually now 10 years later I'm married and I have a baby and another one on the way, and now I'm just planted in Hawaii.
That's awesome. I'm jealous. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii.
Yeah. You've never been before?
No, never. I've never been to the West Coast.
Okay. So I'm
But
sorry, I don't know too much about you. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Boston, but now I live in Nashville.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's Kristen's hometown now.
Yes. I was able to go to her store opening. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
crazy. Oh, nice, Kristen. Yeah. On that topic.
So what was life after Laguna like? After, the show took off and everything.
It was kind of crazy. I mean, it was really cool because the experience that was happening. And, when you're 18 years old and all of a sudden you start getting this recognition and attention, and, you kind of don't know, you think you know everything, but you don't know what to do with it all at the same time. But it was really fun. I mean, for me and a couple of other cast members, we, like Alex M. and Morgan and Taylor and Jessica, because Kristen's career started taking off like right away. But then us, like the other cast members, we started to do appearances, which was pretty much traveling all over the country to different clubs or schools or conventions or malls and just meeting all of the fans and, doing interviews and asking questions. So that was pretty fun to do. And that lasted for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years after the show. And then again, it just all, that part of it all just kind of slowed down because, it's kind of just like reality TV these days. Once the show's over, the relevancy kind of just goes, like it's on to the next, whatever it is. So, but it was definitely fun. I mean, it was something I never have regretted and always have loved. And it's been crazy to even be here now and have like you and your page. And like, it's cool to see all the people that still love it. And that's why I'm like totally supportive of what you're doing. And, I think it's awesome. I'm like, wait, people still want to know like what we're doing.
Absolutely. People definitely want to know. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Were you a little upset that, you weren't in the opening credits? I feel like you did not get enough love as a cast member. You were on both seasons. Voice of Reason, One Line Queen, like so funny.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, like in the moment, I was definitely bummed, especially the second season, because I felt like I was just always there filming with Kristen. And so, I knew I didn't have like a juicy storyline that I could put it into. I didn't have like I didn't have a boyfriend that could have, brought in or anything like that. So, I knew my role was kind of to be Kristen's friend and that person to tie up all the loose ends with. So like, yeah, the second season, I remember when the producers called me personally and they told me over the phone, and I think they did that because they knew like, oh, the poor thing isn't going to be like a main cast member. So I was kind of bummed, but at the same time, I was part of it, and I wasn't going to go and walk away and be bitter. So I mean, I was kind of bummed. I definitely had like
I'll be bitter for you.
Oh,
I'll be mad about it for you.
You're bummed
I
for
said
me?
I'll be, yeah.
I know, but it's, I mean, all said and done, like, I guess I could have, like, looking back now, I could have, like, buffed up my whole storyline or something, but, no, I mean, it was just fun to be a part of it, so. Yeah.
What are you most glad was captured on film?
Oh, I mean, graduation for sure.
Yeah.
Have that. That's pretty cool. And then all the formals and the proms were pretty cool. And just like the key moments, like so many of the things that you post, like some of the funny little scenes and tidbits, like, like the formal or the fiesta. The fiesta is like,
Yeah.
I can't, I can't believe that it's still like, even looking back on it now, I'm like, that was terrible.
I'm so upset I was not invited to the fiesta.
I know. I look at them. I want to go to that party. I still love a good margarita too, but no, I mean stuff like that. Like it's fun to relive that, but at the same time, I'm like, I can't believe we were 18 years old and doing that. Like, especially as I'm now, I'm like, I don't think so.
Did your parents ever watch it back and they were kind of like, what? Like, what was this fiesta? What were you doing at, winter formal, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, when it like first would air, I was definitely embarrassed. And I don't think my parents like watched it too much, but because MTV would send us the tape of the most recent episode like 3 days before it was going to air. And it was totally like a VHS tape, like that was still like relevant back then. So, I mean, we would be able to show them or talk about it if they wanted to watch. But my parents kind of just were supportive. They didn't watch the show too much, but definitely in those moments, I'm like, uh-oh, like, hopefully it's okay, especially when it's like at your own house too. Um,
Hmm.
but like now that I'm older and I can look back, like I can definitely joke with my parents because it's like they knew what we were up to, you know. But when you're in high school, you like pretend that you don't do anything illegal, even though, you know, totally happening.
Did the producers ever encourage you guys to drink or like provide alcohol, anything like that?
I mean, no, they wouldn't force us to by any means, but it,
Right.
you know, I mean, conveniently they would be at a party or a birthday or wherever we were having our weekends, you know, because we pretty much filmed like Thursday through Sunday because they couldn't film at our school, so it was always like after school or on weekends, and then you know weekends as like a high schooler you're gonna go out and go to parties and everything. So, but I mean
Right.
it, you know, it's like as soon as you have a beverage, like you know you're gonna get a little bit more loose and whatever. But you know, it was all. I think at the end of the day, if you're there, you signed up for it, you know, and going to some parties, like some of our classmates didn't like the fact that the cameras would be there, so that kind of was like a bummer because you would just want to hang out with all of your friends at the end of the day. But if you're going to choose to drink and be part of it, like it's you kind of can't get mad at anyone but yourself. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, I just saw someone write about Billy, like my
Everybody
chihuahua.
loves Billy.
Oh,
Everybody loves Billy.
Billy, you're such a good dog. Oh, that's so cute. Just trying to see some of the little
Yeah, absolutely. You
stuff.
can scroll through. There's a bunch. So I've asked pretty much everybody what they think the most, well, the fakest or most dramatized storyline was. What, as an outside, or you were there actually, but what do you think the most, played up storyline was?
Uh, I mean, like the Kristen and Elsie drama, like they just it wasn't that they hated each other. I think they just it was two different grades and never really naturally hung out in the same friend circle anyway, except for like of course going it wasn't like a they weren't social friends, but like going out to parties and stuff, like, you know, there was a big group of everyone that you would always like hang out with more. And of
Hmm.
course, then kind of was, you know, attached to both of them. But I think it was because of the show too. It definitely amplified that. And then there was like kind of drama between like Kristen and Alex or Kristen and Taylor. And there was like a phase, you know, again, and I think the show probably brought it to life more than it was actually alive. But there was like a good part of school where like all of us girls were just super good friends and did slumber parties and hung out and laughed and got ready together and did all those normal things. So, you know, as you grow older and, you know, MTV's they're filming you kind of wanting some juicy gossip or something out of it, you know, you kind of you can't help but feed into it a little bit. Um, so I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't real, but it was definitely amplified.
Yeah, yeah. Was it tough trying to, act like you weren't friends with Taylor and Morgan and Alex, or were you kind of just like, it's for TV, whatever?
No, it was hard because then you know, like you know that they're going to end up watching it, and you want friends, but it's like MTV might want something from you. And again, like you're so young at that point and you don't really know what you're doing. But yeah, it was like hard. Like even thinking about it now, looking back, I feel bad about being like at all like coming off as a biznatch because it's like I'm so not really that way. And it's like the minute I feel like I offend someone or I'm mean, I feel bad instantly. But
Hmm.
um, you know, I mean, it's all said and done now and part of the show, and I think it made it like the show was so successful, so whatever however they did it or it was put out there just was how it needed to be. So
Yeah, what was the difference between filming season 1 and season 2? Did you notice a difference at all, or the response from people, things like that?
Yeah, because season two, like, was coming off of season one already being aired, so there was already a lot more attention on it. Um, and I think even us, like, or just speaking for myself, but maybe the other cast members felt that way. It was we saw the how the show was put out because we weren't sure what the show was going to even look like. So we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what direction they were going in, and then it had some popularity, so already there's like some recognition. So you're a little bit more comfortable, but you kind of also know what the deal is, like what they're looking for. And when you do film, there's always like a purpose behind each scene. Um, so it was kind of cool. I mean, it was really cool to see the attention behind it. And like, again, like being a teenager and like going home after school and turning MTV on and seeing your face there was like definitely really cool, but really like trippy at the same time. You kind of don't know how to take it all in, but it was cool. And then after season two, it just like, I think that's like Kristen and LC and Steven, like all of their careers just like totally took off from there, which was really fun to see them, uh,
Mm-hmm.
do, those kinds of careers and what is it, like being celebrities now. So yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you're also so supportive of, the people you went to school with, and you think it's great that they went off and pursued their passion, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And the fact that like Kristen's still so successful now and LC too, like I don't really follow. I'm on social media, but I don't follow too much, so I don't really know like what everyone's doing like regularly, but like Kristen for sure because we still every now and then we'll catch up and talk, like we'll just text. And especially when I was pregnant with my first with my son, because she had already had like two babies at that point. So she was like awesome to have there as just like motherly advice and super supportive. And every now and then we'll like get into like a whole conversation and catch up. And so there's nothing but like love and respect there. So
That's great. And you're still close with like Alex and Morgan, right?
yeah, I would say like out of everyone, the one person I talk to the most is Alex M.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And then of course like Morgan, Taylor, like when I go to Laguna or if they're there, we see each other and it's all just love and fun and laughing and you know, super exciting. But yeah, I mean the one person talked to the most is Alex, and then every now and then I'll catch up with like someone else like on social media or in Laguna or wherever, like at Alex's wedding, seeing everyone. So yeah, so it's, I would say I'm good terms with pretty much everyone, I think. Like I don't think I would bump into anyone that was involved in the show and have any like weird negativity. So
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's good to be like that.
yeah, I know. I mean we're all older now and moved on, and a lot of us are married and have kids, so it's like you kind of like, I don't know. That's all that stuff was just so long ago. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Would you ever be down to do like a Laguna reunion?
I would totally be down. I would love that. I mean, I don't know how they would do it, if it would be just getting together or doing like a mini show, but I think that would be awesome.
I
Even
think
just like
we need.
what is like, like Andy Cohen on his Bravo shows after he does like the whole uh reunion show or whatever, like even something like that, just to all be in the same room together and talk about
Mhm.
it. Yeah, I would totally be down. That'd be fun.
I think we need to put that in the universe. There
I
needs to be a.
know. No, totally. I mean, like whenever I do talk to Alsam, we're like, how can we make it happen? Let's put it out there. Let's talk to people. So I think, I mean, maybe in the right timing, something will happen. But oh, I wanted to ask you because I'm not like too. I don't follow social media too much, but I remember I was watching Alex and Morgan's live, and
Mhm.
someone commented or something that E News or E doesn't like you.
So I have a one-sided feud with E,
Okay.
and basically when my page started to get more popular, all of a sudden they started posting more Laguna and Hills stuff. So I
Oh,
just joke there's an e-news rat that watches my page constantly.
okay.
It's
Well,
one-sided feud, but
okay. Well, so it's not really like too much drama then.
no, they did send me like a really shady comment not long ago, but
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know. I think what you're doing again, I totally support it, and you're so sweet, and it's all funny. Like I don't ever think you're out of line. Like I don't know what was how that went down for you, and I'm sorry. It seems like you
oh
can
no,
handle. Yeah.
it's totally fine. I laugh most
Okay.
things off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
ha, ha,
Um,
ha.
has your husband ever watched Laguna? Did he know you from Laguna at all?
No. I mean, he's from Santa Cruz, so he's from California, but just up north. But no, he never watched it until he met me, and of course, like you Google my name and it's out there. But no, he didn't watch it until he met me, and then he saw a scene or some episodes that were super embarrassing, and so he makes fun of me for it, and I mean it's all love, but he didn't know, like when we met, he had no idea. Like he had heard of the show, but he didn't know who I was, which is probably a good thing.
No, you were honestly probably you weren't bad on the show. Like you seemed to get along with everyone.
I did, but now I think it's just embarrassing, like the way, I don't know. You're
It's
so
high
young.
school.
Yeah, and when you look at pictures of yourself from like being in high school and you're like, "Oh, I thought I looked really cute that day." And you're just like, so it's kind of like living in those moments, like whenever I see a scene or something, I'm like, "Oh God, like hide me."
um, so is there anything you want to clear up about Laguna? Anything like that? Oh, uh-oh. It looks like all right, guys. Pretty sure Instagram hates me. And we're back.
Oh, sorry. My phone totally died.
No, that's
Uh,
totally fine.
I know. It's like after like Alex and Morgan's technical difficulties. I'm like, of course, right?
No,
So
Instagram
sorry.
hates me. It's fine. It's fine.
I know. Here we got to turn up volume. There we go. All right, we're back.
Okay. I don't even know where we were.
I don't either. No, I was seeing a lot of questions about Jessica.
Yes.
I know. Have you? So, I mean, I talk to her like Facebook because she's so cute with her family and her kids, and we'll like make comments on each other's photos and stuff, but I don't really talk to her too much, but I know she's thriving and she's such a cute mom. And I think she has like 4 kids now, which is crazy. So, yeah, I hope she's doing well. She seems like it. So, have you talked to her? Have you ever reached out?
Yeah, she was actually my first live ever, like way back in December. I think it was
Oh.
day after Christmas.
It was what?
It was day after Christmas we did a live together.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, good. Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. Oh, good. Well, I'm sure she's doing super well then.
Yeah, she's very nice.
Oh, I know. She's such a sweetheart. She's an angel. And again, like we always knew her role was to be a mom, and like to see her have 4 kids and like I think she's doing exactly what she always wanted to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
What made you do season 3? Like, you had a couple season 3 moments. Were you excited to be a part of season 3, or was it just kind of you just did it just to do it?
A little bit of both. I mean, I think by season 3, it was like a whole new cast. So there was part of me that was like kind of over it because I wasn't in high school anymore either, and didn't really have any attachment, besides being friends with some of the the cast of season 3. I think I just did it to tie up the loose ends from season 2, and I know Jessica did it, and just to still be a little bit involved. Like, I was more than happy to be there, but by that point it was definitely like you could feel it was like time to pass the reins on to the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, I'm
Someone,
reading some of the comments.
no, please answer some of them if you see any you want to answer.
Yeah. The guy at Dave and Buster. No, I don't think I ever called him. I don't know if I got his number, he got mine, but there was no follow up there.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think Alex Merle's watching. Hey.
Yeah, I saw her
We're
comment.
supposed Oh, she was. She's in Hawaii, so we're supposed to meet up this week.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. We'll get together because I think last time we saw each other, our babies were like small and didn't really, they could kind of play with each other, but now it'd be fun because our boys are like the same age. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I'm making my first trip to Laguna in October.
Oh, fun.
Where should I visit? Where do I have to visit?
I would say like to follow the theme of Laguna Beach. You definitely should go to Gina's Pizza because that was just somewhere we went to high school probably like 3 times a week. And go to Thalia Beach. That's somewhere we filmed a lot. I mean, the second you go down the stairs, you'd probably recognize it. And then I don't know, I go to Laguna like once or twice a year now. So it's changed so much. So I don't really know like where the cool spots are now, but from like
Mm-hmm.
high school days, yeah, I mean, Gina's Pizza again would definitely be somewhere you should try. And then just walking around, like it's so pretty there. And once you're there, you'll trip out and be like, okay, now I see why, like, you want to come to the show here, like the California coastline. But I'll think of more stuff if there's any must-haves or anything. I'll send you an email too, and for spots you should definitely hit up.
That is much appreciated.
Are you flying in? You're not going to drive, right?
No, I'm gonna fly.
Okay, because I saw you did like a little road trip somewhere. I'm like, oh, okay. But
Yeah, that was a 9-hour road trip I never want to do again.
yeah, road trips are fun like that first 2 hour, and then after that you're like, okay.
I know, and then you hit traffic, and when I'm in traffic, I'm a whole different person. I'm just awful.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the traffic, yeah, you have to keep moving. That's like movement is essential.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Someone wants to know, what do you do for work now, or?
Now I'm actually a realtor. So I do real estate here. I do a lot of property management too. So I have like some vacation rentals that I manage and do some sales and everything. So it's definitely nice to do it in Hawaii. I mean, I get to see like really beautiful property, and sometimes it's like, I don't know, it's where I live specifically. I have a lot of my business, so I can just like walk across the street and like show one of my properties, or even bring Andrew with me if I have to, who's Andrew's son. So it's pretty good.
That's great. Do you ever get recognized still?
I mean, every now and then. It used to happen a lot more, but now it's just I mean, maybe once or twice a year, but when it does happen, it's really funny and it's super flattering, and it's really cool because it's when it does happen, it's like instant. Like they come up and they know exactly who I am. They're like, "You're Alex H from Laguna Beach." You know, there's not like any hesitation. So it's still really fun when it does happen. And then sometimes you'll get someone like if I'm at a restaurant or at a party, they'll be like, why do I know you from somewhere? You look so familiar. You just kind of like play that one off like, I don't know.
Would you, if you could go back and give yourself some advice for being filmed in high school, what advice would you give yourself? I still think you were pretty good on the show. I really don't think.
No, I know. I mean, I would just tell myself to just, I don't know. I mean, not take it so seriously and I honestly like not be such a puppy to it all, you know, like I was always there for Kristen, which I loved, and obviously, you know, filled in those missing blanks and the questions and stuff, but I wish I had like a little bit more independence on the show, because I kind of did fall into this role of being like, you know, it seemed like my only friend was Kristen, which was fine, but definitely would have been nice to have like a little bit more of my own position. But you know, all said and done, and maybe some of the party scenes like disguise that or not be so, you know, like after a certain point, maybe like hide a little bit. But again, it's all said and done. It's already out there. So.
Right. So I asked Alex this last week, but for you, when was the moment where you were like, wow, this is a big deal? Like the show in general.
I think by the time like season 2, when we were filming season 2, like after season 1, filming season 2 and seeing the attention still get out there, and because it was in our senior year was season 2, so it was in that year. All of a sudden, that's when Kristen started to get. She was on magazine covers, and we were getting invited to events and parties and stuff like that. And, you know, it was definitely in filming season 2 and going from there, like our last year of high school, it was like, whoa, this is kind of like people are paying attention and, you know, want something to do with it. So that was kind of crazy. Cause then it was after we all graduated from high school, you know, a lot of us moved to LA to be in that scene a little bit more, but it was that follow-up too, you know, doing the appearances and everything. So no, it was crazy. Those were crazy times. It's trippy to like reflect back on it, you know, and I always think about it from time to time, but to like talk about it is so crazy. I feel like it's just like a whole nother life I had before.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And I mean, that was before social media and all of that. Are you glad that it was before social media?
Kinda. It definitely would have been like, I can't imagine what it would have been like with social media. You know, I think our lives probably would have been completely different, but it was, yeah, I mean, because at that time it was, MySpace was hardly even a thing. But then after we filmed and everything, like a little bit of the internet, like Perez Hilton and stuff like that presence started to get more recognized. So it was kind of weird. Like it was definitely trippy to go online and like see things written about you or photos of you up there, and like it wasn't always super like nice either. So it would be weird. It definitely would be weird to have that, because it's, you know, you're just, even like Instagram now, like I have little cousins that have it, and I can't imagine what they see or how they feel they need to look or act because of social media. So I guess it's probably a better thing it wasn't on, you know, it wasn't as it is now back then.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I feel like with you guys, there wasn't maybe as much pressure to look a certain way. I don't know if I'm right with that, but I feel like the Laguna Beach was like the last show that was beauty standards that people could actually relate to.
I know, right? I know I'm seeing a lot of little comments about the fashion. Um, the fashion, those denim skirts, the Abercrombie denim skirts, that was like, you had to have one of those. And they just had to be, so short. I think I got sent home from school wearing that skirt probably like way too many times. I definitely got suspended over it, which was terrible, but you know, whatever. Um, but sorry, I lost my train of thought. I have like the worst
It's
pregnancy
fine.
brain. Do you guys I'll show you my baby bump. It's all just
I know you're
a
due
big
what
hump.
next week?
I'm
You're due
due.
like next week, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, technically, my due date is 2 weeks, which is really like I could go into labor tonight. So I'm just on like I'm on baby watch.
If you went to labor right now, that'd be pretty crazy.
I know, right? Just started my first contraction. That would be weird. I know. It's crazy.
Was there any like jealousy from any other classmates that weren't on the show?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, kids, there's so many people that went to high school. So of course there was other drama outside of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure there was something else going on and, something had to have been going down, or if someone wanted to be on the show and like maybe their boyfriend or girlfriend didn't want them to be on it, because if you're like friends at all with like us that were on it and you go to a party, everyone's going to be there and the cameras, like we had a couple of friends that would walk around like with their middle finger up just because they didn't want to be shown or filmed or anything, and you had to respect that. Like they didn't want to put their faces out there. So, but other drama, yeah, there was, yeah, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I think there was probably like maybe some uneasy feelings because like with maybe some other girls because they weren't on it, or even maybe some guys. Like, yeah, now I'm thinking about it, I'm sure those feelings were going around.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you've been so awesome, and I really, really appreciate you doing this live.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
and usually I ask with the question or end with the question I ask giving advice, but I ask everybody, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
In sync.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's the right answer. No, I mean, in sync for me personally, I mean, I saw them like 3 times in high school, and my friends and I made my dad drive us to Vegas like in the midsummer one time just to go see him play an all-star basketball game, and Justin Timberlake.
Appreciate the dedication though. I can
Yeah.
appreciate the dedication.
Oh yeah, but I mean, still Backstreet Boys, like it's a tough comparison. They were both like, I still listen to both nowadays, and I feel super old when I do, especially when like my little 12-year-old neighbor barely knows who they are. I'm like, oh my god.
I know.
Yeah. So I think you're Backstreet Boys.
I am, yes, but I'll respect NSYNC. I'll respect it.
Of course. I know you got to respect the game, right?
Absolutely. What is it? Don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
There you go. Yeah. Something I once never got the concept of.
I know. Someone actually asked to ask you, like last episode, or it was a graduation episode when you were like, it's the beginning of the end. What does that mean?
Oh my gosh. I know I didn't get it. I think I just confused myself because I'm like, but we're graduating, and how can there be a beginning to an end? Which I get it now, but I don't know. I got ahead of myself. My mind sometimes just, I still do things or say things that my husband's like, did you just hear yourself out loud? Like, did you really ask that question? Oh, I don't know.
We've all been there.
I know. Those like blonde moments. It doesn't just happen to the blondes. It happens like it lives within everybody. Yeah,
exactly.
I know, exactly. But no, thank you so much for having me. And again, I'm super supportive, and I hope it just continues to take off, and whatever direction. And I don't know like your end goal, but if it's just to like, it looks like you're just having a bunch of fun with it. So I think that's
Yeah.
totally awesome. And if we can get a reunion going, like, let's make it happen. And so much credit to you. So yeah, I mean, I got your back.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations, baby number 2.
Thank
Congratulations with
you.
everything you've done after the show. And this has been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I know you'll see. I mean, I'm sure for whoever follows, once I'm pregnant with a baby girl. So once she's born, I'm sure I'll put it out there, and yeah, we'll stay in touch.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
again.
Thank you. Have fun in Laguna.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.